they literally had scanners at the poker tables, where they literally had professional athletes in the NBA walk off the court so their proposition bets could be met, is a coordinated scheme with La Cosa Nostra and the individuals that we arrested today. And it's been going on for some time. And we are going to continue to work this investigation and those that have been arrested today to make sure that illegal gambling empires embedded with the La Cosa Nostra are brought down, whether they're in the NBA or anywhere else.
That's FBI Director Kash Patel on the stunning charges against NBA stars and New York City mobsters accused of swindling millions from high rollers in rigged poker games and faking injuries for so-called prop bets. Portland Trail Blazers coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat guards Terry Rozier among the more than 30 people charged. Art Manteris is a former Las Vegas bookmaker. He joins us now. Art, I just have to ask, what was your reaction when you heard about these arrests?
Well, unfortunately, I had a little bit of a heads up that something like this was coming. I didn't know the details, and I didn't know that rigged poker games were part of the trouble that was brewing. Most of this didn't surprise me very much. The techniques of how to rig and how to operate an illicit poker game, I think, are clear and known to a lot of executives, and not shocking that they would be implemented when the stakes are so high.
A lot of people wonder why, if you're an NBA coach or player, you're making millions of dollars a year. Why do you need to, bet on games on the side? Well, Anthony Aruleta, a former crime family member from the Genovese family, had this to say about that. Listen.
The NBA players, they don't need, the only thing that they can use the mafia for is to bet more money on the streets, because it raises red flags when you bet it in the casinos.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened in this case. Once people start pouring in money, the sports books know that, and they alert, it's a red flag for them.
Does that sound likely to you?
Well, the policing agency, or the police function that we in the regulated sports bookmaking world operated within for years, that's very true. And I had made the argument for years and years that the regulated industry is the policeman of the sports gambling world. But things have changed so much, so fast since passed by the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act was repealed in 2018, and the expansion and the varying regulations around the country are all things of significant concern to me right now.
Yeah, they're talking about some high-tech stuff that was involved in the swindling. Card shuffling machines that would read the cards and then transmit to certain players at the table, who had the best hand. Cards that had, secret writings on them that you could only see if you were wearing special contacts. Some mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, and those things, I'm sorry, those things have been around for a while, and the technology that we use on our end from the casino operations standpoint, the surveillance capacity, the ability to zoom in and see the next card upcoming. We have significant technology on our side, but now to take that similar technology, use it on the other side of the counter, or use it for illicit games, it's not really that shocking.
Joshua Ritter is a Fox News contributor who says he thinks this might be just the beginning. Listen.
I do think it's the tip of the iceberg. I can't imagine. I mean, every time you look at these federal indictments, you got to look at who are the unindicted co-conspirators that may not even be named. Right. Those are people cooperating, and there could be more information coming.
I mean, this was a pretty shocking allegation against some of these, very well-known players and coaches. Could there be more, do you think?
Yeah, unfortunately, and this is the sad part, is from what I'm hearing, there is more to come. This may be the tip of the iceberg, and there may be some other high-profile athletes and entertainers that get caught up in this scandal, or at least the investigations surrounding this scandal. I will say one thing, though, in commending Commissioner Adam Silver. This morning, I read where he had made it very clear, and he is circling the wagons with the NBA, and has repeated that the integrity of the games is the most important thing. And I just couldn't agree with him more.
Yeah.
And you know who said that same thing 100 years ago, ironically, was Meyer Lansky. recognizing that without the integrity of both casino games and sports, there's not much left if you don't have that.
Art Manteris. Art, thanks.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.